Sophie.
How are you, Dion?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. You look so great. That green is a great color for you.
Thank you. That's my favorite. I love
So,
green.
okay, so everybody meet Dion Napier. She is literally the best. She is a classical trained vocalist and teacher, but now her main passion is to bridge the gap, as this is called, from classical to commercial voice because well, you tell a little bit. I mean, you're seeing so many problems from people who are trained classically and then who are trying to sing in the commercial world. Talk about those problems. What are people up against right now?
Yeah. So I can talk about it directly because I've lived it. So one of the issues is that we go through this university system to study voice because we come in, just loving to sing and just want to learn how to do it sustainably. But now y'all, I'm real straightforward. I ain't trying to offend nobody, but I just speak real direct. So what happens is that we get in the university system and get kind of brainwashed that Western classical singing is the healthiest way to sing, is the best way to sing, and that singing pop, blues, country, anything outside of classical will ruin our instrument. So many of us have been taught that. So then we get equipped to sing opera and classical, but then we graduate, and in the real world, that industry is declining. At least in the US, it is. People are not really paying to hear opera like that. So we get out here with a skill set that we can't monetize. We don't know how to make it work for us. And it's like, what do I do? Young artist programs are not accepting us. Do you know what I mean? Some people get in, but that field is incredibly competitive and you got to know how to network. There are other skills that are required outside of just having a technically well-trained voice. And many of us don't know what to do with that degree. And then we don't have the contemporary skills to do some work that we could get paid for because people want to hear pop music. Like you can get little gigs and stuff, but we're not equipped to do it. So we really come out, Sophie, like set up and we feel defeated, incredibly disciplined people, really smart, really intelligent, dotted all the I's, crossed all the T's, and then still come out with like, what the heck do I do?
Wow.
So
and after spending so much money and so much time, how discouraging. So Dimty, I'm sure I'm butchering your name. I don't know, but she said you're so right. So this is clearly something that you're not the only one to experience. And how discouraging, because exactly you spend that much time, you really work hard, you spend all that money, you expect to graduate being able, exactly as you said, to monetize that skill. Okay, now where do I get a job? Where do I go where people will pay me for all this knowledge that I've collected? Nowhere.
Right. So then we're stuck like, what was it all for? That reel that's going around, all that work, and what did it get me? Like, it's real.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Yeah, that's reality.
Wow.
For us. So
what kinds of things? Let's talk technical here for a second. Oh wait, let me see what Tara said. Tara said, I have girls on my worship team who learned that way, and now they have a hard time singing contemporary worship. Very true.
Yeah.
This affects people in all genres: church music, pop music, rock music. Yeah. One of my favorite classically trained students from years ago, she did all of this stuff, and then she wrote these amazing country songs. I mean, these songs belong on radio. And she would sing her country song like this, and I was like, she was so good. Like, the writing was amazing, she had everything, but the voice sounded off. And once it clicked in, like, she found her contemporary voice, but it took her a while, but once it clicked in, it was like, you've got the package, go get a record. It was amazing. But so talk technical for a second. What are some of the things technically that you would say to a classically trained singer that wants to find their commercial voice? Like, what do we do?
So for me, it's two big things. It's resonators and vibrators, or the resonance and the vocal cords, that need to be treated a little bit differently. So when you're learning to sing classical, it's head voice dominant. So everything is like this, like you just said. In commercial, you can't come in singing like that, or you're going to sound a mess. So you have to learn, classical singers, to lean in and emphasize the pharyngeal resonance, which is that crying, that kind of stuff. Y'all, that was the thing that sold me. Sophie opened my voice in 50 minutes with that. I'm telling you, the monkey noises, I was done.
Yeah.
I'm like, this don't make no sense how fast this stuff works. But anyway, it's leaning into the pharyngeal resonance. And so classical singers have to get used to that kind of raw, brassy, isolated, ugly sound, because we're taught to make everything refined and beautiful. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so the pharyngeal resonance is not that. It's more open vocal tract and all of that. So you have to get used to having that pharyngeal resonance emphasized, and we go and shape it. We don't leave it raw, but you have to have that ingredient. And the other thing, Sophie, is the vocal fry. It's the refined chord closure,
Yes.
which is a huge deal. And it took me, a couple of years. I've been tracking with you since 2020, but it wasn't until a couple of years in that I realized, like, I'm not focusing on the vocal cord closure enough, the refined closure of the edge work.
I love that you said refined, because obviously even in classical, you have to connect your chords, but it's taught that the air goes first.
Yes.
And then the vocal cords start to connect because of that airflow.
Yes.
Well, you listen to Dua Lipa, and she doesn't go, if you want to take me on a ride. She doesn't do that.
Yep.
She's like, if you want
to.
It's like that little
sneaker.
Yeah, it's like a little sticky spot, and your voice has to do that for pop music. If you want to take a ride, I know, and it's very direct.
Yes.
Totally different sound, and people are like, how is that happening? It's muscular.
That's right.
Muscular.
Yeah.
So that's so cool. Okay, somebody in the chat says, many teachers at uni tell us that we can sing contemporary if we know classical, but the truth is contemporary also needs its own study, and you can always tell when someone when someone only knows classical. Oh, that's so true.
Legit.
Yeah. We've definitely experienced that for sure. So talk about that. Like, people say that all the time. I've heard that. If you can sing classical, you can sing anything.
Yeah.
Where did that start? Why is it not true?
I don't know exactly where it started, but I know some of the roots of classical singing being superior and supreme comes from a man named Frank Damrosch and another man named Theodore Presser from the 1920s, I think. And these were European immigrants that came over to New York. They helped start at least Frank Damrosch helped to start Juilliard. And their idea was that classical singing was superior, and the pop music of that style, which was jazz, which was Black Americans, was trash. That's what they thought. And if y'all want to research this, you can look up Etude magazine, The Jazz Problem. I think it's from 1924, I think. Google it. It's public knowledge. But that's the foundation of a lot of this thinking that classical singing is elite and supreme and everything else is not. So if you can sing classical, you can sing anything wrong? Again, one thing that's rooted in a bias, it's not rooted in voice science. It's not true.
Yeah.
And then we see these people that are trying to sing pop styles with a classical background, and they can't do it. They don't sound legit. They don't sound believable.
Yeah.
There is some retraining of the voice and the muscles and the things that have to happen to get a believable contemporary sound.
Yeah,
it has to happen.
It's very similar to, like, I studied dance for years and years and years. I used to be a dancer. Like, ballet is a totally different movement than like hip hop. Like, you get the opposite version of movement. Yes, it requires body movement and all the things, but it's a totally different movement. Ballet is all tall, long, and hip hop is like, let's get down,
Yes, Sophie. And I will say there are some things that overlap in the technique. And I tell people this because I had exceptional classical training. And I think because of that, I was able to move rather quickly with the things that you taught me. Now, I still had to drill, and I still am. I haven't arrived. I still have to drill and put in the work and reset the muscle memory. But there were some technical aspects that you would explain to me, and I'm like, okay, in classical, this is what this is. So I really feel like I was able to see some of the parallels as I was going through that journey with you, and that kind of helped to to accelerate my understanding, and it helped me to be able to teach it quickly
Yes,
too.
that's
So
great. And for
yeah.
those of you who don't know, Dion was in my vocal coaching certification program. So I have a program online that teaches
Yeah.
people, whether ever taught before in their life, teaches them how to become a voice teacher and really have a solid knowledge of how to help someone on the other side of the piano. Hundreds of singers have been through it. A handful have now graduated and become official recommended coaches on our website. So I'm so excited that Dion is one of those people. So anyways, but I love that you're marrying the two, like, because I don't have the deep classical knowledge that you have. I only have a little bit of experience with that. So hi, New Life. Nice to see you. Hi, Russell. Hi, Joel. Hi, Kate. Everyone's still coming in. Okay, so this is just so helpful. And I want to see, for those of you watching, put your either like your thumbs up or a heart or something if you've ever had confusion around commercial singing or mixed voice. Okay, put a thumbs up or a heart if you've ever had confusion around commercial singing or like mixed voice particularly. Okay. New Life said, can you sing? Come on, Dion, sing something for us.
Y'all, I really want to talk. Like, I'm more of a teacher than a singer. I can sing stuff, but the dog is like, no. Huh?
You have a great voice.
Thank you.
I love your voice. Sing something.
I don't even have a song ready, girl.
Every singer says that. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of thumbs up and hearts in the chat. So this is something that people have been confused about.
Yeah.
Mixed voice, contemporary singing, all of that.
Yeah.
You know, I'll give you a quick example. Like what is that Beyonce song where it's like she does like 7 different modulations?
Love on top. Love on top, honey.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I worked with someone one time who was trying to sing that song, and they were like, baby, it's you. You're the one I love. You're the one I need. Yeah. And it was it was actually really good classical technique. It was amazing. Yeah. But for Beyonce, it was not the right feel. It was a totally different usage of those muscles. Yeah. So when we do something more in contemporary or commercial music, you have to, exactly what you said earlier, you have to lean in to like the uglier side of the voice, which feels so wrong to a classically trained singer. But exactly what Beyonce does. She doesn't go, oh, she goes, baby, it's you. You're the one I love. You're the one I need. And then she flips the head voice. But because of how ugly she did everything else, it's a moment. Yeah. Like it feels right instead of being like, no.
Yes, and it's not a classical head voice with the vibrato. Like, that's another thing. We have to learn to cut that vibrato. Some of it. Now, I know there's a pop style vibrato and stuff like that. But every note is not like this. You know, we have to switch that off. And that's the thing for classical singers, because we've been taught every note, you know, that air is just freely flowing all the time. Yeah. You don't stop. You don't sing straight tone. You don't stop the air under the folds. You just let it go. No. So that's something we have to work on.
That's amazing. Okay, so we're going to take some questions here in a second. Good. You guys, you can type in your questions now if you want, and we'll scroll back to them. You can wait, but if you have a question that's burning, then type it in. But before we do that, I love that you're one of your other passions in life, Dion, is mentorship. Like, you don't just treat the singer's voice. You treat them. Singing, like, the instrument is a part of us. It's not just this guitar that's separate from us that someone says, ew, your guitar is ugly. And you go, okay, whatever. Someone says, ew, your voice is ugly. And it's like, I mean, it's a part of us. Yeah. It's so deeply a part of us. So that when you teach, you have to handle the whole singer and all the emotions and all of the rejection and all of the everything. Talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was a big gap that I saw after I was in school. Like once I was out for years, started having children and started just thinking back about stuff. You know, we had a lot of us had fantastic teachers. They knew how to teach and technically train the voice, but you didn't get a sense of a mentor, you know, like somebody that's really pouring their life into you. And a
Yeah.
lot of this is comes from my ministry background. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I approach voice training not with everybody because everybody's not ready, but I always have that mentality of like discipleship making, mentoring, deep relationship, caring for the soul of the singer. Because so many times or so often I think we praise and elevate gifts that we have to sing and do all these things, but a lot of times singers are really struggling emotionally, soul wounds, word curses. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you said, voice is ugly, body shaming, classical realm. You know what I mean? Like all this kind of stuff. And nobody, I don't see enough people dealing with that.
Wow.
And so that's part of what I'm born for. Like the person asked me to sing, yeah, I can sing, but that ain't really what I like. No, I'm here to teach and to equip and to help repair souls. I
Ooh.
sing to be able to relate to singers and to get in the door. I'm just telling y'all. But like, no, my passion is to really help build you.
Yeah.
I want you to have the singing skills, but I want you to be whole in your
Ooh.
soul. So I deal with this specifically in my course. I have a section where I deal with it, and I primarily deal with it through prayer, intercession, and biblical principles. That's how I deal with it. I don't do new age meditation. I told you I'm very direct, okay? It's
Yeah.
Jesus alone. And I use the word of God. And I go up in there and walk you through a process and help to pull up. And it's not comfortable, but to pull up some of those hurtful words and some of those things that are lodged in your soul when you go to open your mouth and sing and you still hear these little words that your conductor told you or that your voice teacher told you or your little choir teacher told you in seventh grade. Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I deal with that.
Yeah.
And once we can deal with that, Sophie, that voice opens up. I know you know.
Ooh. Ooh. Get me fired up, girl, because this is so true. Like how many times, like I had a student one time who like he was having trouble just kind of opening up and letting his voice go. And I was like,
Yeah.
where did this start? Like how what are you thinking about when you're singing? And he was
Mhm.
like, it's like I'm back in 6th grade where I had a talent show and I went out on stage and the kids laughed at me.
That's it.
And it was lodged in his very being, and
Yeah.
and his voice couldn't get out past this
Yeah.
experience.
Yep.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's real.
I love that. Okay, so talk about, we're going to get to some questions. You guys put your questions in the chat if you have them. I'm seeing some come through already. We're going to go and scroll back up and look at
Okay.
them. But tell us about your thing coming up.
Yes. So I am doing a 4-day vocal cross training masterclass, and it is exclusively for opera singers and voice teachers. Okay, exclusively. And it's helping them with some of the basics of contemporary sound. How do I get a contemporary mix and how do I belt? I see those as the most needed skills and like those first foundational skills when you're coming out of singing classically. How do I get a commercial style mix? How do I get a belt? And so that's what the not the course. That is what the master class is going to be going over.
Cool.
We are also going to do a purpose and vision day. It's not, again, I'm not just singing. I'm working on the soul too.
Woo.
So we're going to do finding a purpose. I like to say, what's your mission beyond the microphone? Do you know? Or do you just get up and sing? Like, what's God's vision for your life? I'm going to walk you through an exercise to get some clarity on that. And then we're going to talk about more of the contemporary vocal stuff. So it's free. It's 4 days. You can DM me the word traction, but you have to be a professional level opera singer, university trained classical singer, or bel canto voice teacher. Otherwise, your request will be denied.
Okay, so the word is traction.
Traction,
Okay.
yes.
All
That's the
right. So
name of the event.
DM and your let's see, your Instagram is Amplify
Amplify Vocal Studio.
Vocal Studio. All right. So if you want information on this 4-day free event from Dion, then DM Amplify. Oh, I'm sorry. I have a typo. It's not Vocal Studio. It's Vocal Studio. Sorry, guys.
That's okay.
Amplify Vocal Studio, DM her the word traction, and then she'll get you some information on that. If you are not a classical singer or a bel canto voice teacher and you just want some general help with your voice, then you can DM 1108
Yeah.
Vocal Studio, or you can DM me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it's the word sing, and then I can DM you some info about lessons or courses and stuff that we have. We have some free tools as well. We have an app that will help you. So yeah.
Yes.
Let's take some questions. Let me scroll back up and
Okay.
see. All right. So someone named Fur asked a question. Paul McCartney sings an amazing mix in songs like Long Tall Sally. What's the difference between him and Frankie Valli? Ooh.
That's a question for you. I don't
Well,
know.
Frank,
I don't
okay,
know.
so they have two different voices. They're really set. I mean, they're actually kind of similar. What's a good Frankie Valli song? Somebody remind me so that I can have a good reference point.
Mm-hmm.
But Paul has an amazing high voice, so he has thin vocal cords. They are able. He's got the skill to be able to thin them out even more. That's how you hit high notes. The higher pitches are thinner in thickness. So he knew how to do that really, really well. And he just had a natural, one of the best things I think about Paul's voice is he didn't have any strain or tension. He didn't have any tightness. So a lot of people are like, the higher they sing, the more they clamp down on their voice and you can hear the difficulty. Paul didn't do that. He's like, yesterday, all my problems seem so far away. And you can hear the in his voice.
Mm-hmm.
Not like,
Mm-hmm.
it's not that at all. I would say Frankie's in the same category, but I think just a little bit of a thicker voice, just a little bit. But similar. And of course, different styles, you know? So, whoopsie. Okay, so Craig said, what's the song, What Does It Take for Taking Chances? I don't know that song. Are you talking about the Celine Dion song? She's like, what do you say to taking chances? What was that, like 2009 or something? That was a good song. She had a crazy high note in that song where she goes, what do you say to jumping off the edge? It was so raw. It was so good. Oh, that song.
Sophie, something's coming to me as you're saying that. Another thing with that can kind of be unspoken in the university system is that commercial singing doesn't have a method and a pedagogy. Like it's just random singing.
Wow.
That's another thing too, and it's not true. Do you know? Like when you mentioned Celine, because Celine has a coach, like she works with a coach. Absolutely. These people are not just out there just sing classical singers. I'm talking to you. Like these people are not just out there just winging it. No, there is technique underneath what they're doing. And it's not necessarily rooted in Western classical.
Yeah.
Like contemporary music has a pedagogy and a system and a method of learning as well. So I just want to throw that out.
That is so good. That's so
yeah.
good. Okay, do you know I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston?
Of course.
Sing it.
I'm not here to sing, y'all. I'm talking to classically trained singers. I'm not holding back. I'm not here to do no talent show. I'm not singing for free, okay? I'm not singing for free. I am here to talk to classically trained singers that want to learn how to sing commercial and they need resources and they need a guide to help them do that. I'm the guide. Sophie was my guide and I'm the guide to these people that I most directly relate to. So I'm not here to impress y'all with singing.
I love it. Yeah. One of my teachers said to me one time, I ain't here to impress you. And I was like, oh, shoot.
I got plenty of stuff on my page though, so go to Amplify Vocal Studio. I got a lot of demos, a lot of things that I'm singing on there, but I'm not here for that today. I'm here to see what classical singers are needing help because we be out here feeling defeated.
Okay, so Joel said, can we have help about how to sing background vocals for pop music? Do you have any suggestions for that, Dion?
I don't. And that's really honestly something that's a next step for me. I've always wanted to sing background vocals. I brought in a girl last Wednesday. She's classically trained, but she's also a gospel recording artist. She's a crossover vocalist. Her name is Kim. And she came in and did some sound production basics for classical singers because that amplifies singing and stuff. There's a lot of that stuff that we do not know about.
Yeah.
All we've done is just straight acoustic, singing just with the natural. We don't know a lot about mics and amps and all of that sound production. We're very, most of us don't. So I just brought her in, and that's the next step for me is to explore background vocals because I've always wanted to do that.
Yeah.
So no, I don't know exactly what his question was,
So
but that's an area I'm on.
I have one suggestion for that. I think the main thing that a good background singer needs is the ability to control their voice exactly. Like they need to be like background singers often. I mean, I teach a lot of professional background singers who tour with Christina Aguilera, you name it. And sometimes they are even better technically than the lead singer, than the main artist. Now the artist has the X factor, the star power, the whatever they have,
the brand,
the brand, the look, the everything, right? And most of the time, a lot of times, their technique is not necessarily stable. It's sometimes a mess. But you better believe when they travel with 4 or 5 background singers who, no matter what, are there for them every night. When they have a bad voice day or whatever and they're not feeling it, they can go, hey! And then their background vocalist can take it. So as a background vocalist, especially for pop, you need to have a reliable voice that will do what you tell it to do. Okay? Need help with this? Obviously, we're here to help you, but that is a journey. That's not something that you snap your fingers and you get. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. A great question for you. How do you do vibrato? Explain vibrato.
Yeah. So from a classical world, vibrato is just a natural result of well-balanced breath and muscle. It's just a natural result. We don't teach vibrato in classical. Like, you don't teach it. If your vibrato is not even in classical, it means there's some tension or something somewhere that you have to try to get out. But we don't manually teach. We don't do that. Now, that was something new when I started learning from Sophie and learning about contemporary techniques. I'm like, oh, they like manually teach people how to shake their voice and do that. That was like revolutionary to me. I'm like, my God, So for us, we don't teach it. And again, that's something too that, I have to still work and train my voice to do that because so many years I've done it the classical way that I have to still be intentional about not having that classical vibrato, but more of a contemporary vibrato. So that's something I'm currently working on as well.
And how would you
describe
the difference between the two? Describe the difference between classical and contemporary vibrato. How would you describe that?
Yeah. So with what I hear, in classical, the vibrato is constant, and in a contemporary sound, usually it's not. I know in musical theater, I'll use that because a lot of classical singers, that's usually our first step, trying to explore more modern sounds is musical theater. It's more straight tone, and then you put a little vibrato at the end. And that's it. So it's not continual vibrato like that, So that's one thing that I can say is different. You put vibrato in spots where it matters or where you want, but it's not continual.
Yeah. So the actual physical ability is the same. It's really just more in its usage that makes it different for different styles.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
good.
Cool. Okay. Let me scroll and see if there's any other questions here. Okay. Great. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. Corey asked, have you ladies listened to Rachel Farrell? Great vocalist who experiments with all sounds, mouth shapes, and colors. She is classically trained, but sings contemporary jazz and R&B. I have not. Rachel with 2 L's and an E at the end. Rachel Farrell with 2 L's.
Her up.
I know. Would you text that to me? I'm gonna look that up too, Corey. Thanks for the.
How do you spell the last name?
Farrell, Ferrell.
Okay. No, I'm glad to look her up. That's great. Somebody put Rochelle. Is it Rochelle or Rachel?
I think it's Rachel. Well, this Corey typed Rachel.
Okay.
We'll check as well.
We'll find her.
Yeah, we'll find her. Very cool. Oh, thanks, Tara. Tara said Sophie totally changed my voice in the last 3 years. That's great.
Same.
Amazing. Okay. Joel said, how do you fix a shaky voice? Great question.
How would I fix? What do you mean by shake? Again, coming from classical, like we do vibrato. Like I don't know what you mean shaky, just unstable. These
Mm,
would be like basic technique things.
mm,
I don't know. I'd have to see like what's the shake. I would probably maybe try to have them do a straight tone, something sustained,
mm.
just to see what's going on. What the shakes are? The shakes being caused by nerves? Do you know what I'm saying? Are the shakes being caused because the vocal cords are just weak? I don't know. I would probably look at the vocal cords and then just experiment and try to see what the source of the shakes is.
Mm.
But when I was a classical voice teacher, I didn't have a lot of people with that. Again, because we come in pretty much kind of set. We just trying to level up and do the next thing. Do you know what I mean? Like learn how to apply that technique into a different style. It's not really reviewing those basics.
Yeah.
But that's what I would try with the
Okay.
shake.
Yeah, that's really good. That's good. You got to find the source of the issue before you can really fix it.
That's right.
So this is why a coach is so helpful, guys.
Yeah.
This is why all of the biggest artists known to man have coaches. Okay. You better believe, even if they don't tell you, Christina Aguilera has a coach, Celine Dion has a coach.
Yes.
They rely on their coaches.
Michael Jackson had a coach.
Yeah. Amazing.
Come on.
Yeah. Okay, Bo asked, can you give us some prime examples to use with mixed voice and chord closure? I'm not totally sure if I understand the question, Bo. If you're still on, maybe give us some clarifying. Are you looking for song ideas, examples to use with mixed voice and chord closure, or like an exercise that would help you with both of those things? Give me some clarification there. Answer that question. Let me scroll down, make sure I'm not missing anything. Craig said, singing with the piano is also good training for your ear and your range. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, we do that all the time as coaches as well. Jennifer said, I find it hard to have vibrato in any other sound other than classical. What are some exercises you do for contemporary sound? Yeah, so Jennifer, I actually have a whole section on this inside of my online course that's in the Singers app. And it's literally incrementally teaching you how to toggle your voice between two notes, and it slowly speeds it up. So you first go, and just practice dipping from one note to the next. Then you set a metronome and you speed it up a little bit. Then you speed it up a little bit more. And then eventually you give each note their equal value. Okay, and this is slow. This is a slow process. Your body has to get used to that. Your muscles have to learn how to do that. But if you want to get some help with that, we'd love to work with you in a lesson, or you can join one of our courses too. So, okay. Cool. Thanks, Craig. Craig said this is helpful. Thanks for this topic. Really good, productive info. Good descriptions. Yes. Someone else. Oh, Bo said Rachel Farrell is a great vocalist. Cool. Okay. We're going to go and look for her because I don't know. Okay. All right. We've got to talk about this. Craig said probably diaphragm exercises and breathing and holding a note and listening, even though it doesn't sound right at first. People can be hard on themselves at times. So talk a little bit about diaphragm exercises and stuff, because that's a big one in the world of classical singing. But how does this change for commercial singers?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't even hardly talk about breath much.
Isn't
yeah, it's been a huge revelation. It's not the same needs. Like if you just think about it practically, this is how I explain it to my classical singers. Classical singing is presentational. We need the long legato lines. We need to swell up with air because we got to do all this stuff over the orchestra unamplified. Honey, when you are singing commercial music, like it's more conversational, it's more speech level. You got a microphone, boo. You don't need all that air. It's just not required, for the goals of the different styles. Like it makes sense if you just think about it.
Yeah.
Presentational versus conversational. So when you sing in commercial music, for the most part, it's just like speech level. Now, when I do talk about breath, Sophie, is when I'm teaching belting. That's when I do bring in especially chest dominant belt, that I don't recommend doing a lot, but I do think that singers need to know how to do it for when they, whatever, just want to shine a little bit, But I do teach, incorporate that breath mechanism there. Sometimes I have to remind singers when we're doing mixed voice to remember to exhale. It's still that sigh.
Mm.
Y'all call it cry or sigh. We call it opojo, to lean on the air. It's the same concept.
Mm.
At the breath level, your body is doing the same thing, y'all. It's just different
I
terminology.
love it.
So that has been a big revelation coming into commercial singing. It's like the breathing stuff is not that. It's not
Oh.
emphasized. I'll be gentle. It's not emphasized the same way.
I love it. I love how straightforward you are. People need that. Singers need that because, like, oh, there's been so
Yeah.
much muddied about
No.
singing. Okay, Bo clarified for me. He wants an exercise for mixed voice and chord closure. He said earlier you showcased the monkey noise. So would that be a good exercise that you would say, Dion?
Yes, yes. That one's fine because again, the monkey noise is gonna get you in that resonance, and it's also gonna do that instead of that ha, like that breathy onset. It's gonna be a more glottalized onset that's gonna give you a firmer quality, and it's gonna sound beltier, it's gonna sound fuller or girthier, but you're not working hard at all
Oh,
to do it. No.
that's good.
So
So
that would be great.
give us a demonstration of how someone would do that
The
exercise.
monkey noises, yeah. So, ooh, 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 and just let it be raw. It don't have to be pretty. Again, I tell my classical singers this all the time. Get the perfectionism out your
Mm.
mind. And again, we have to go in there with the prayer and the stuff and pull that stuff down because that's kind of ingrained. But it's not perfect, y'all. It's just imitate a monkey. Just have fun again with singing. Classical singers, we can be so regimented and so, like following everything that's on the page. But when you start singing commercial music, you have that freedom to just make ugly sounds, make funny sounds, let the voice crack, let it do whatever. Like, really, that's a part of your freedom.
Yeah.
That's a part of you getting free and loose. So,
Yeah.
yeah, with the monkey noise, just be free, imitate a monkey. Ooh, 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 and just play.
I love it.
That's it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love a little bit later, Bo said, yeah, baby cries and stuff that classical singers may not be used to. That's it. It's just
Yeah.
that you're not used to it.
That's right.
That's exactly.
Yep.
Love it. We've got two more questions here, and then this will be it for us today. But let's see, two questions. Okay. Craig said, how do you get back into singing after stopping for a few years and retrain the building blocks? I think my question for you, Craig, would be, how did you do it the first time? Because if you did it the first time, then you're probably going to just do the same thing.
Yeah. Just start.
Yeah, just start back again, start singing more, start exploring. Obviously you can't compare where you are at now to where you were when you were at your height before.
Yeah.
So don't fall into the comparison game. You're starting a different journey at a different point in the road. All right. And you may look to the left and right and see other people that are 10 years into their journey already, and you can't compare yourself to them because you're not there. So yeah, be easy with yourself. Get a coach if you need help. Join the Singers app. You can look for it in the App Store, the Singers app. Come on board, and we do free Zoom classes and stuff like that for coaches. Talk to Dion if you're a classical singer. But yeah. Okay, last question from Sarah. My dentist suggested jaw surgery because I have problems with my jaw joints. Do you have any information on how this could potentially affect singing if the lower jaw is moved forward? This is a really cool and interesting question. So yeah, I mean, anytime you change the structure of your head, you alter slightly your resonance. If you're having trouble using your jaw, and if you're getting medical advice to have surgery for this, I would, I'm not your doctor, but I would follow your doctor's advice. If it's something that's preventing you from like living your life well, then do it. Vocally, it's not going to have as huge of a change as if you did surgery on your actual vocal cords or something deeper down in your actual vocal, housing material, all of that material, like your larynx and all that stuff. That is going to have a much greater impact on your sound. But of course, the shape and size of your jaw, your anatomy in general, does have to do with how the tone is created, but you're not going to wake up and sound like a different person. Okay. You'll sound maybe like a little deeper Sarah or a little lighter Sarah or something like that, but it's still going to be you. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. But yeah, amazing. All right, you guys look up Dion. You can find her. I'm going to type it correctly this time, Dion.
Okay.
You find her on Instagram. Of course, you can see right there, Amplify Vocal Studio on Instagram. And if you want to find out about her free 4-day event, DM her the word traction and she will send that to you. This is for classical singers and bel canto voice teachers. If you're any other kind of singer and you want some help with your voice, you can DM me or 1108 Vocal Studio, and we will be happy to help. We have private lessons. We have courses in our app. We have a free app community you don't have to pay a thing for. We do free Zoom classes and stuff like that too. So thanks, Dion. So good to see you.
Thank you. You too. This was fun. Thank you, guys.
All right. See you later.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.